Life peaked when I was 5 and saw the scene in Bug's Life where the waitress bug asked,
"Who ordered the poo-poo platter?"
I never laughed harder in my life. Dude, same. Thank God I wasn't the only one that thought poo-poo platter was hilarious. Another beautiful afternoon. At least it is where I am. Also, I'm recording this as of the 1st of June, so happy gay month, everybody. Happy super gay weirdo month. That's right, we're all weirdos this month, okay? Breaking. Lil Nas X confirms that he is... I'm just happy to be a voice for the people that are. I don't know why. I've always gotten fantastic vibes off of Lil Nas X. That dude is hilarious. Cracks me up. May he always be around. I was trying so hard not to freaking lose it at the way this aquarium set up their eel habitat. The couple behind me gave in. Oh, but that's adorable. I mean, you know, a little morbid, but it is cute. Oh, man, that's awesome. It's kinda disturbing how potatoes and onions are literally alive, which is why they don't go bad for a long time. I suppose, if we look further, do potatoes and onions scream? Welcome to college, where every single person is smarter than you, except for the 3 people in your group project. I never went. I never even... Well, no, I did think about going. I did, but I did not obviously in the end go, because I always, ever since I was a little boy, wanted to read memes on a YouTube channel for a living, and that is exactly where I ended up. So remember, don't let your dreams be memes, okay? Let them become reality. Whale Shark has learned how to steal food from fishing nets. He's not stealing, it's literally his food. Exactly. Their natural habitat, okay? We're the ones taking it out of its natural area to feed 8 quadrillion goddamn people, while half of it's gonna go bad before it even gets to us. So no. Don't sit here and pretend like the whale shark's doing anything bad. No, alright? That's like if someone was coming into my house and stealing a bunch of ramen packets out of my pantry, and someone snapped a photo of me punching the guy in the balls who was trying to take it, and they made an article about me. Weird, tall, lanky white guy learns how to steal back food or steal food coming from his Like, no. You get the hell out of my house. Making 2 dinners even though my wife isn't here to cope. Wendigoon, what the hell? Those are nice plates. I really like your plates. I really hate to ask you this, but can I have the other one? It looks really good. It looks really good. I can't get over how clever his name is. You'd think his name would be Dr. Hospital, but they call him Dr. House because the hospital is like a home to him. Never getting over this. As you shouldn't. That is a beautiful joke. It really is. It's so goddamn funny, okay? I will say, though, it took me a very long time to realize that it's supposed to be a medical drama version of Holmes, Sherlock Holmes. As a kid, the show was on the air. I was like, oh, it's cool. House is a cool name, I guess. I never connected the dots. All right, I just never did. But it's kind of cute. I like it. It's also really funny when you think like, okay, if we're gonna make our own like special version of Sherlock Holmes, House and Wilson, perfect. House and Wilson. No. Holmes and Watson? Nah, House and Wilson, baby. If I could read minds, I would use it to say your jokes louder and faster than you. Ooh, I think that right there is the most, like, down-low, supervillain shit I've ever heard. You will genuinely make them lose their minds in the most horrific way possible. If you actually did this to somebody enough, they would probably go crazy to an irreparable degree. I was playing a game I couldn't pause, and my mom walked in my room and wanted me to try the rib she made, and I was like, okay, in a sec, and she just went, it's okay, I can feed it to you. And she's just feeding me ribs while I'm fighting for my life. Here's an artistic rendition. You know what? That's actually just adorable, though. It seems like 9 times out of 10, when this situation arises, mom just screams at you or forces you to f off with the game or shuts it off and is a jackass about it. But in this case, it's funny, all right? I think the moms of the modern day, should damn well understand by now that sometimes when you're playing a game, the pause button doesn't work. At this point, moms, you gotta know. You've got your hobbies, you like watching TV or doing this or doing that. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying when someone comes out of nowhere and expects you to drop everything you're doing so they can do something else literally right now. You'd be struggling, walking in the cold, and then suddenly you walk past a white man in shorts. I've always wondered about that. What the hell is up with them? Really? I had several friends growing up that were like that. They'd have a hoodie on or something like that, but shorts. And it would be like 20 degrees Fahrenheit out or something crazy. Like, dude, you good? Are you invincible? Look, I know, white people are famous for living in the north in the cold, where the sun don't shine and the snow stays around all the time. But I just don't understand. Just the shorts. Who does my barber think he is? Come forth. If my name was Pharaoh, I'd speak just like this. Oh, who wouldn't? Is there an anti-Ozempic? Ah, yes. The chocolate Oreo shake, size large. We've seen this poor bastard before. An anti-Ozempic is diabolical, though, but it's true. This thing right here, I don't know how accurate these numbers actually are. I didn't think that something like this would be legal. Sure, it is a 32-ounce shake, which is crazy, by the way. What's that, a liter? I have no idea. That is a huge amount of liquid when it's milk and sugar and ice cream and chocolate and all of this other shit. But let's take a look at this one more time just to see. 2,600 calories. Now, sure, we're not all the same. We all have different dietary needs and restrictions, but that 2,000 calories a day is sort of a based on average, whatever. But that right there is utterly crazy. All right? Look at the amount of sodium, salt in your shake. Almost 2,000 milligrams. Do you see what I'm saying? I bitch about salt so much. I don't even care about the sugar. Yeah, that's enough sugar to kill 3 horses. But dude, why is there so much salt in my shake? Why? And also 80% of your daily dose of iron is quite crazy as well. That's a ton of iron in that bad boy. Did they just smelt a sword or shave some rust flakes off on in there? How it feels to say some would argue when I'm the some who would argue. Wow, that's very specific of you. You're the wolf in sheep's clothing, my friend. The one who was probably radicalized against your fellow wolves and is now just a sheep because it's more fun. Come on over to the Matrix, buddy. We're eating steak and being ignorant as hell. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Not having to bring my backpack to the last day of elementary school was the last time I truly felt free. That was the last time you truly felt free? Damn, I'm sorry about that, Red. That does suck a lot of ass. I keep forgetting most people aren't chronically online. I just called my coworker Bestie. She took a long look at me and then said, "Thank you. I've never had a best friend." Are you implying that the word bestie is an online or chronically online only term? That's not what you're implying, right? I do feel bad. I feel bad for your coworker. Everybody deserves a best friend, unless they're a Nazi, or racist or a piece of shit. Then you don't. The app is called You're Canceled. When you've made plans that you wish you could cancel, you go into the app and press a little button. If the other person presses theirs too, congratulations. Confetti exploded and your plans are canceled. If you press yours, but the other person doesn't, your plans remain intact and they never find out you wanted to cancel. I don't know how it could work that way. I mean, I'm willing to invest about $4 into this idea. I'm totally willing to, since we're all giant, sissies who just absolutely can't go, I'm not feeling it. I don't know if this app is really necessary. I think it might help. It might. I don't really know. Let's try it. Let's try it, Maddie. Moving to a walkable city won't solve all your problems, but it will allow you to get drunk and just walk around. And that is peak activity you can't get just anywhere. That's true, though. You can't get that anywhere. I mean, you can. You can. It doesn't matter. Actually, he's wrong. Chris, you totally can get drunk and walk around anywhere. I mean, I live in the suburbs. I can get drunk and walk around. It's not going to be the same. I'm not going to wander into a cool business and have a good time out where I am. But I can indeed be drunk and walk around. And that does indeed improve the surroundings a little bit, I suppose, because suburbia, I mean, depending on where you are, can be hell. It can really, really suck. It just really all depends, okay? But don't let Chris tell you otherwise. You can absolutely do this anywhere, so long as you pack the appropriate amount of stuff. I think it's cute that PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo all agreed to split the colors like that. One gets blue, one gets green, one gets red. They're friends. I mean, of course they're friends. That's the conspiracy theory, right? They're all colluding to make as much money as humanly possible. Although, about a decade ago, a little like 12 years ago, Xbox decided to be the stupidest moron in the world and sort of broke the whole system. And they've never recovered since. I know, I just know in my heart of hearts, we're probably only going to get one more console generation out of Microsoft before they're like, yeah, we just do game streaming and Game Pass, and that is it. Because they just keep getting spanked by everyone else. And I'm pretty sure that Sony's going to get spanked this time around. You know, whatever the hell else happens. I think the Switch 2 is going to work out pretty damn good for Nintendo. We're not going to see another Wii U situation. And if we do, well, you can come back to this video and go, ha, stupid. Whoever came up with lefty-loosey, righty-tighty absolutely cranked it out of the park with that one. Isn't it the other way around? I mean, I always said righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, not lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. I never said it that way, not flipping the directions. I just always said it the other way around. Maybe it is lefty-loosey comes first, but I always said righty-tighty first. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. The clearest image of Jupiter ever taken. Very crisp image. I can practically see the institute where I studied how to be stupider. Almost. There's no real surface of this planet, though, is there? I mean, I don't know how gas giants really work. It's not like we can land on that bitch and walk around. But that institute has to be somewhere in between the surface that we can see and the horrific core that's probably a black hole that leads to, I don't know, some other dimension or some crazy shit. I don't know how science works. I don't study planets and stars. I don't do that, okay? But it would be cool to see that school. One that all of us boys know about. The boys went to Jupiter to get more stupider, right? That was what we did. I thought when people said lie on your CV, they meant like invent tasks you performed and skills you exhibited. Are you people making up whole jobs? That's awesome. CV stands for creative writing. Oh, I see. Creative writing. I'm an idiot. No, that's on me. That's on me for sure. Hell yeah, I'm going to invent a completely random-ass job, and I'm going to tell my buddy to answer the phone when I give them, like, a reference phone number. You know what I mean? I even procrastinate things I actually want to do. This is how you tell the difference between laziness and executive dysfunction, by the way. Man, there's so many things I want to do. I do. I want to play games. I want to watch movies. I want to create things. But I won't do any of that probably ever again at this point. I just don't. And it's what kills me inside more than anything. I am wasting every single microsecond of my life staring at nothing, refreshing the same 4 websites over and over and over again because I have nothing. Imagine your doctor walks in, and he has a broccoli haircut and a dangly earring. That's gonna happen soon. Well, see, okay, so here's the crazy thing about that, Ryan. If my doctor walks in, regardless of how they look or decide to dress themselves, carry themselves, accessorize themselves, they're a fucking doctor, and you tweet. I mean, I don't know who Ryan is. Ryan could very well be like a crazy smart, like PhD student, whatever. Ryan could be a doctor himself, okay? But I personally don't give a flying fuck what my doctor looks like as long as they are professional and, well, are legally licensed to practice medicine in the country that I reside in, which I would assume if my doctor walked in, they are legally allowed to do that. Board certified? Let's get it, all right? You can have your broccoli haircut and earrings. I really don't give a rat's ass. When I was a kid, when my dad beat me over something petty, I'd throw his car keys into a canal. Yes, at first he got angrier and beat me more, but he quickly stopped when his keys kept disappearing and he eventually realized the inconvenience was not worth it. I asserted dominance. You did? Man, I don't know. If I was ever just getting beat, I'd probably just, kill him. That's just me, though. That's just me, I'd probably get like a truck, steal one, run him over, 3 times, just to make sure the job was done. He's not going to be with us much longer. Say what you want about Liver King, but he really lives and breathes the primal lifestyle, and by that I mean dying at 45. I never really knew much about the guy. I mean, obviously I heard about the dumbass scandal, and I'm gonna be real with you, okay? If you looked at this dude and thought he was actually legitimately all natural in any way, shape, or form, that is more on you than it is on him, and he's the one lying. Like, look at that. No, that is not a natural goddamn body, all right? Every day I become more compassionate and more evil simultaneously. I think that's what being human is all about, because our emotions go both ways at all times. That's what makes you, you. I mean, I guess it's just, where do you draw the line? Are you going to give in to your evil, or are you going to become a Jedi? Look, only a Sith deals in absolutes, and only the Jedi would say something that contradictory. Oh, I hate Star Wars. Imagine being some frat bro who went to Villanova, is it Villanova? In the 80s, and looking up how your buddy Rob's been doing, and he's the Pope. That is actually, it is crazy, okay? Clean my shower? Then what? Give my car a ride into town? Grow up. Yes, come on, Jordan. You gotta clean your shower. Your shower is where you get all the goo and gunk and funk off of your body, okay? It's not, Jordan, please, for the love of God, your shower's gonna get yucky. Do you think he still owns this hat? Like, does it call out to him like the Green Goblin mask? Nah, he does not strike me as the type of guy who gives a rat's ass about any material possession that he has, because to him, when you get past a certain level of wealth, material possessions are just temporary toys for you. You don't give a fuck. All right, let's see. Is 5,713 a prime number? No. Yes, the number 5,713 is a prime number. Thanks, Google. That's super helpful. AI overview. It's so awesome that it's completely useless and lies. Klarna losses widen as more consumers fail to repay loans. You're running out of time to buy a loaded-up MacBook at 0% interest and waiting for Klarna to go bankrupt. What was the plan here exactly? You can't exactly repo last month's burrito, and people with 400 credit scores don't care about their credit rating. Look, I will say that like the whole 0% interest rate thing is inherently good. You know, I do like that part, but every other part of this is just scary and terrifying and a much worse version of something we've had for many years. I know people avoid credit cards because they're super easy to lose track of. You know, if you're a shopaholic, like I know a lot of us are, to a certain degree, and the way it's set up, you have to use them, otherwise your credit score will go down. It's very stupid, I get it. And I know interest rates are scary, but this right here is so much easier to such a creepy degree. It's not good. I don't even know how to articulate how I feel about these buy now, pay later programs that are not going to be around, I think, or hope much longer. I really do hope they disappear very soon because, dude, you cannot be having $38,000 of debt based on fast food or something else like that. You can't, man. That is just, whoo-wee. GameStop is rumored to be selling video games in exchange for money. Who leaked this? I don't know, but I just don't find GameStop cute anymore. Like, you guys suck genuine ass. Lie on your resume. Lie in your interview. Google how to do your job if you get hired. Your boss doesn't know what they're doing either. Lie. Have your friend pretend to be your old boss and give you a good referral. Lie on LinkedIn. I mean, yeah, as long as you keep this shit in scope, who gives a rat's ass? Go for it. Go for it. Oh my God. Your bangs do a good job of covering up the lobotomy stitches. What's his fucking problem? Oh, I don't really remember why their beef started. I've read every single Calvin and Hobbes strip, but I just can't remember what his problem really was. Calvin's always just been a dickhead, you know? He's been a smarmy jerk since day one, right? And it's because he talks to himself exclusively until he's talking to Susie. But she gives as good as she gets, okay? She throws that shit right back at him from what I recall. Single childless guys be like, $100? You could just spend 7 hours of your weekend and do it for free. Yeah. This makes me think of getting an oil change. That's what it immediately makes me think of, where, yes, that is a good skill. That's smart. I totally get it. It'll save you time for sure. But there's so many X factors I don't like about it. You know, hell, I think we have an oil spill out in the driveway now from doing oil changes at home, you know? Not me. I didn't do it. But, like, so many X factors that could happen because, like, how the hell do I clean up half a gallon of oil from the ground? How do I do that? You know? I'd rather just pay the $60 to $100, have it done in 10 minutes, and that's it. I know, I get it. I understand oil changes are super easy and simple, and once you know what you're doing, you can do it in like 10 seconds. That's not the point. Nothing has improved my life more than my wife's best friend marrying a loser. Okay. I've never looked in the mirror and said, looking good today, but I have said, whatever. It is what it is, and that'll do, pig, many times. This morning at 7-Eleven, I saw a lizard next to the coffee maker, and the cashier said, no worries, that's just Marvin. He likes the smell. Oh no! Can you DM us with the store location you visited so we can check in on Marvin? Thank you! No, I'm not gonna narc on my buddy. Yeah, I'm sorry, 7-Eleven, you can go straight to hell, okay? If they're not actually I guess a danger or contaminating anything or whatever. No, I hate that. Oh no, can we check on Marvin? And by that, I mean, take the franchise away from the owner and get a bunch of people f***ing fired? No, you may not. Ah yes, the store. The classic place we all go to buy products. I think today I'll buy cheese. I like Dan. I like Dan a lot. I'm sorry, I just felt like I had to say that. Dan's a f***ing crazy bastard. Love him. That's all I got for you. OSHA inspector walking into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. What the fuck? Finding out someone's go-to OTC painkiller is so insane. Like you're friends with someone for years and you find out they come from a Tylenol family. Ibuprofen, the hottie, lover, the gold standard. Tylenol, like, okay, I guess? Someone's mom is a nurse. Aleve, hardcore, possibly goth. This person has chronic pain, lots of respect to them. Aspirin, what's going on here? More questions than answers. Is Aleve Tylenol is the acetaminophen brand name. Like, look, if we're gonna go with ibuprofen and aspirin, stop saying Aleve and Tylenol. Those are just brand name versions of these same drugs, okay? Once you find a pair of pants that fit you perfectly, it's over for all your other pants. Well, the problem I have with my pants is they all do fit really well for about an hour after they come out of the dryer, and then they cool off, they sag a little bit, and then they just don't look right anymore, I just always look weird. But that's all my pants, so I guess they all get kinda hated equally. I absorb the pronouns of everyone I defeat in combat. My hair is bluer than you could ever imagine. My pronouns are he times 81, she times 74, they times 43, any times 12. Soon, your pronouns will be none and none. Vinegar has a surprising effect on depression, study finds. Heal me, salt and vinegar chip. If you can hear me, salt and vinegar chips, I'm asking for a miracle. Salt and vinegar chips, please save me. Arrive at a hotel in Paris. Say in the best accent I can muster, I'm not gonna say that. Immediately get the response, what's your last name? Heartbreaking start to the holiday. Just don't even bother, man. Not there. They're like, oh, shut the fuck up. You want me to sign you in or not? Day 1 of internship, which I earned purely by my own merit. Pretty sick riding with my dad to work since he also works there. God, what is that? I want to know what that dashboard is. Clearly we've got, he's got boat shoes. Okay, hold on. That's not a real wooden dashboard. So it's like fake opulence. This is probably like a $70,000 electric car, if I had to guess. I had a farmer patient who used to self-treat his atrial fibrillation by touching the electric fence. Was it working every time? Me pretending to be shocked when they announced my boss got fired this morning like I did an interview for her position last week. Oh no! Horniest dude who's ever existed. That's sick. What does being a project manager entail? I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't have to start studying at a round number. You can also start at 537. Right, but it's a little bit easier to just say 530 rather than 537. It's also easier to remember. How many suits you own based on your industry? Finance, 5 to 10. Tech, 1 or 2. Crypto, 0, then 5 once your trial starts. Doctor, I've made the appointment to remove the tapeworm. Me, I never asked for that. He did. I can't eat any more cheese. My worst fear is accidentally committing tax fraud because I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, I'm not worried about that at all. If there's one thing I do absolutely splurge on every single year, it's my accountant. Do they have regular mental hospitals in Gotham, or does everyone get thrown into Arkham? Like, if I have a breakdown, will they throw me in next to the Riddler, or what? I asked ChatGPT, I asked the old gods, and they're very upset by your hubris. The old gods of Asgard? Did you ask them? They're the only opinion I'll take. It's May 1, and I have not seen a single Justin Timberlake meme from even the chuggiest millennial. True vibe shift. To the goth guy in my college dining hall who always ate waffles, I'm sorry I only knew you as Waffle Goth. You were surely more complex. Obsessed with water, always have been. How beautiful water is. So thankful for water. Nothing tastes better than cold water. I'm on my 15th glass of water. You gotta chill on the water. 15? Me trying to convince everyone I don't have rabies. I'm thinking about the water mushroom. I want to be in the water mushroom. Dude, the water mushroom was always the place to be, man. Gay people posing with their English teacher at the end of the year. I can't figure out which one's the gay person and which one is the English teacher. And that's what makes this image so beautiful. It's actually crazy how much you have to work out for a mid-body. Exactly!